In this video, I will introduce you to Rovas, application enabling participation in the neo-economic system. First, we will create a new account for a user wishing to use the application. There are several ways to do so. One is to use one of the user's existing social network accounts, or we can just use mechanism built into the application for creating new accounts. First, we have to put in a full name of the applicant. Let's just use some of these default passwords for this demo. Okay, this will be the first step of the registration process. The account was created, but there is also a second step to necessary before full functionality of the application is available to the applicant, and that is verification. The purpose of verification is to make sure that people don't have two accounts, and possibly also to prevent spam from polluting the application. We can verify the user either by person. If I, as a registering user, know somebody who already has an account, I can ask her or him to verify me. If I don't know anybody, I can use the purchase option, which I will show you next. Basically, the basic idea is to make a small purchase of Chrons, the neo-economic currency. Let's just put, maybe that will not be a good number. Well, it's good enough for this demo purpose. This option, this validating option, works basically just any regular e-commerce purchase. I am not going to go through it. We only have PayPal as a payment method at this time. Down the road we might activate more. Another option is verify by person, and we are going to take that one. Let's say we know Mary. Yes, this way. So Rovas sent notification to Mary to verify new user request. We will switch to a different browser to see what Mary is seeing. I'm already logged in as her, and Mary got an email, and she also got an internal message to verify John, and she will have to know his email. Upon submitting, Rovas will retrieve information which is associated with that email, and Mary is supposed to compare that information with the profile information of the applicant, which was also fetched from the database. If they match, she can confirm the request, or she can deny it, and in that case the system will send some messages back and forth, and they can resolve the issue if there is any. So Mary confirmed Johnny's account. Let's go back to Johnny's browser, and we can see that Johnny is also received also a message from the system informing him that his account was verified, and as a courtesy gesture, he can pay Mary for the effort. Rovas automatically created a project for Johnny when he was registering, and awarded him 2 Chrons for his effort, registering effort. So he can maybe pay one of these Chrons to Mary for verification. And that transaction shows on his ledger, in his account balance. And Mary got a one more merit into her merit score. It is possible to see also kind of a ledger for the merits in the my account, but we will not go there. You can check it out yourself once you create your own account. So at this point, the user Johnny is fully registered and able to use the application to its full extent. Next, we will look at how Johnny can create a new project to record work. We can start either on the home screen, or we can go, where's the add project button, or we can just look at other people's projects and start our own. Johnny can upload photo of the project if it is applicable, set an expiration date if the project naturally expires, like for example some conference organizing the conference has a fixed date. It is available only by that date. After that date, it should automatically, if it is not purchased, this work, the product of the project, then it can be automatically closed. Johnny can decide whether he wants to work on that project for a little while and then set it for sale, or just go for the set it to be ready to be purchased. He can also set participation option, either to a private project or public project. Private project allows him to control who is working on who is basically a shareholder in the project of the profits of the merit gains, which I will explain you in a minute. With public projects, he doesn't have that option. Anybody can work on public projects. The third, or basically a subtype of the public project, is kind of a dependent project, and I will show you how that works in a minute. He can set price for a project, either a fixed one or just leave the field blank if he wishes to let potential buyers to determine on price, or whether he wants to give it for free away. He can also specify web address of a resource on the internet where people can learn more about this project than is mentioned on Rovas. There is also description which would inform the potential buyers for about what the project is about. Okay, so besides the expected information which we typed in, we have two sections for every project. One is the shareholder section, where Johnny can see who is authorized to work on the project, and he can also set what is the share of merit gains with to that particular shareholder. People are in Neo are not rewarded economically when somebody is purchasing a project. They only get a non-economic merit reward. The only economic reward they get for their own work. So for example, when Johnny adds a report that he also worked on his own project, he can add a work report, for example, catering, and let's say he worked for 4 hours. Work report serves as a kind of proof of work for other workers to be able to determine whether the work was actually performed, and it also gathers information which is used for rewarding the worker, like number of hours, and classifying the work into a specific category, which I can set right here. For example, this one would be food services. I would find it somewhere. Let's just choose randomly some category. I don't have to actually choose any. I can leave it blank, and system will set it as an unspecified activity. Here I can also choose a source of evidence, either web address where proof of work can be found, physical address, or place on a map. In this case, I would probably include a physical address where the catered food can be purchased or where it was purchased. So here I would set up address. Let's just choose web address here so I don't have to type anything long. And important thing is the description of the work which was performed, again to inform potential users who would potentially want to verify this work report. Okay, so Rovas will create the work report and immediately reward me for 4 hours of work. I can see it actually not here, but in this menu. Catering, I was rewarded with 40 crowns. I didn't earn any merits because nobody bought that project yet. I can add other users to my projects, for example, Ulysses, and we will grant him, I say, 15% of the merit reward. Application is informing me that the sum of the percentages is more than 100%, and it also changed its status to unfinished because project which has more than 100% shares allocated cannot be sold. So I have to edit my own allocation to maybe 50. Oops. Let's see what happened. Okay. So at this point, the sum of the percentages is less than 100%. What that means is that the merit reward will be distributed by a combined, it will be a combination of shared allocations and time allocation, which is explained right here that for example, from 100 crowns, if somebody pays 100 crowns for this project, Johnny gets 50 crowns for his share, Ulysses gets 15, and the remaining, 35% will be distributed by according the number of hours worked on this project by both shareholders. So if Ulysses added his own report, let me show you, maybe we will add Mary. And we will not give her any shares. She will only work, she will only be able to earn merits for her time, for her labor. And let's go to projects, and let's see, it should be here also, Johnny's project, because she is a shareholder in Johnny's project, so that project appears in her list of projects she works on. And she can add her own work report to this project. And let's see, she was okay, and let's see, she worked 6 hours on this. She would again choose some classification, work evidence, maybe some receipts or whatever from her activity. Okay, so now we can see that we have 3 shareholders on Johnny's project. One of them is a time-only shareholder. So let's switch to Johnny's page. We'll refresh it. Okay, so this basically is the project creation process. Let's just quickly demonstrate allocation of merits. We will log out of this and we will log in as somebody else, if I remember. Let's just use Harry's account. Okay, Harry has 300 merits, so let's go to projects. And okay, we cannot purchase this project because it's in the unfinished status, so we have to switch back to Johnny's browser, edit the project, change the status for sale, save. Now let's go back to Harry's browser. Okay, now the Johnny's project doesn't have fixed price. It is that's why the label on the buttons has donating word in it. Johnny can pay, Harry can pay maybe 100 crowns. Okay, let's look at Johnny's project. If we refresh it, we see that it got 100 merits, and here's the distribution of merits. Johnny got 64, Ulysses 15, Mary got 21. I'm not going to check it out, but you can in your, if you wish so to do so. Johnny's merit count is now visible also on his page, on his dashboard, 64 merits, and that puts him to 8th place out of 10 participants in the neo economy at this point. We can also see that merits get owners, the economy participants can see their merit ranking categorized by the type of work they perform. For example, this is not very good category because that one, everybody gets that one that is used for registering and rewarding verifiers for that work. But if there were more people who posted work in this category, Johnny would see where is he in that category positioned, in what place. Maybe I should mention also the difference between private and public project. Let's see, this is public project, and anybody can join that project by simply clicking this button. Johnny is now shareholder in that project. Public projects don't have percentual shareholders, they only have time shareholders. Everybody's share is determined by the number of hours they work on the project. And the third kind is dependent. We can look at this one. So this project is dependent on a parent project. It means a couple things. First, why would such a thing exist? Say somebody would like to have set percentage of proceeds for himself, but he would also want to allocate maybe some percentage of the shares to public who would work only who would be rewarded only for working on that project. So in this case, if somebody wanted to buy this child project, they would click again this button, but instead of that child project, they would pay for the parent project, which hopefully makes sense. So that's basically the dependent project. Next, we will look at functionality called disputes. This is a mechanism which exists to address a possibility that some users might report work which they didn't actually perform, or they claim that they created a product which is possible to buy through Rovas, but it wasn't the case. In such situations, any user can file a dispute against the perceived violators of the neo-economy rules. These rules, the dispute rules, are described here, but I will briefly show you how does it work. Okay, so we want to accuse, say, Ulysses about some of his work report which he created. Let's see. Let's just say that this project looks suspicious to me, so I will specify its name in the object of complaint, and here I will describe of the complaint. At this point, Ulysses was notified that the case dispute was filed against him, and I can see the details of the dispute. This is me, I'm the complainant, and this is the accused. Status of the dispute, here is the object of complaint, start date. There is a 3-day period for the dispute to be resolved, and it has 2 sub-periods. One is one takes first 24 hours. During that period, the accused can remove the object of complaint or otherwise rectify its problem, and he will not be penalized in any way. If he does so in the second half of the dispute period, which takes 2 days, the last 2 days of 3-day period, and he decides to rectify the situation, he will be penalized, but it will be a lesser penalty. He will lose all of his merits, and of course the Chrons which he earned illegally. If the 3-day period passes and he doesn't rectify the situation and he loses, then his merit score will be set to negative value, which would prevent him from using the application to the full extent. In particular, he would not be able to create own projects. He would only be able to work on projects of other people. The disputes are decided in a simple way. Both complainant and the accused can gather support for their case, and they would appear here. So anybody can actually look at the dispute list and see that there is filtered by status. Oops, not that one. This is live. And see open disputes. They can just click at it and add themselves. I cannot add join dispute because I am already a party of the dispute, but anybody can join either the accused group or the complainant group, and their scores are tallied, and at the end of the 3-day period, Rovas will compare those 2 numbers, and whoever has better score wins the case, wins the dispute. Well, currently the object of complaint can be either work report or project, but down the road it might be extended to other situations. This basically concludes the major functionality of Rovas. I should maybe mention also the Forex section, which is really not very developed at this point. It allows only purchase of Chrons with foreign currency, which I have briefly demonstrated during the registration process. The idea is, excuse me, that people can use their uh, the normal currency to buy crowns. Um, the exchange rate is really low. It is derived from basically the amount of money which the poorest people on the planet currently make a day, which is about $2. So that sets kind of a base for the exchange rate, which is probably unrealistic because people from such countries would not be able to use Rovas, which means that the exchange rate should be better looking than what is it now. But the idea is to maybe accumulate some of the so-called foreign capital for the neo economy, and once there's enough money, an auction will be held where that money will be sold for crowns, uh, and that should determine more realistic exchange rate. So that probably should be enough for an introduction to Rovas. If you have more question about any aspect of neo economy or how to use the application, you can contact us on the links which are visible on the homepage for the neo economy, which is right down here. You can also read about the economy on this page. Thank you for watching.